Hi, Crystal Inner Circle family. It's great to see you again. Today is our weekly tarot reading. So I chose today, since we are doing the review on the Love is in the Earth Crystal Tarot, to do our weekly reading out of the Love is in the Earth Crystal Tarot. I will also be doing our 3 free tarot readings out of this deck tomorrow. So make sure you sign up for those if you'd like to do so. Let me get them out of the box here. They come in this awesome, nifty little box. They come with a good book. It's by Melody and Steve Goins. Yeah, so here we go. Go ahead and shuffle these cards. They're huge. Okay, let me put them up in comparison to the other deck that I have. Okay, this is the Rider-Waite-Smith deck that I have. This is the Love is in the Earth crystal deck. They're about, I don't know, maybe double the size, kind of. Makes it a little bit harder to shuffle, but it's got a lot of art on them, so I'm excited to show them to you. Alright, here we go. Go ahead and shuffle. You can tell when you haven't really used the deck very much, they tend to stick together. Ooh, look, here's a fancy one. I'm not sure what this means, but it's pretty awesome. Maybe there's a key in here. I don't know. I don't think this is anything. I think this is just the beginner's card. Alright. Let's continue shuffling. I'm actually going to give you my interpretation of the cards as I see them, and then I'm going to give you the interpretation that the book says. That way we get more involved with the book. I will also be giving this book and tarot deck away next week on Tarot Tuesdays, so make sure you stay tuned. Visit us in the forum or in the chat room and get yourself signed up to become one of the lucky winners of the tarot deck. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pray over this. Pause the music. Dear Lord, thank you for this wonderful day. Thank you for all that you've done for every single one of us. Please bless this deck with your heavenly knowledge and, your inspiration. And allow me to transmit any kind of message that you have for those that are watching. I ask this in your son Jesus' name, I pray. Amen. Okay, a couple more times. One more. Actually, I probably don't have to flip these because I don't think they have reversals. Actually, no, they don't have reversals, which makes this a very positive deck. A lot of the decks are seen as negative if you don't choose to so indulge yourself into the study of all the symbols within the decks. I highly suggest, if you are going to try and learn about a tarot deck, you go back and search through my previous blogs and check out all of the writings that I have done, because most tarot books can be quite depressing, especially when explaining an old-fashioned tarot deck, like the Marseilles or the Rider-Waite-Smith that I have. They can look quite gruesome. Even the Deviant Moon that I have can look quite creepy. But a lot of good things can come out of, negative circumstances or out of negative imagery. A lot of people just kind of bypass the fact that they have to dig for the good symbols in the cards, or the meanings of the good symbols in the cards. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and shuffle one more time and go ahead and get to the tarot reading. Okay, that's good. So I'm going to do a typical reading like always. It's going to be the 3-card reading. If I have any questions or anything, I might do a bridge card. We'll see what happens. I have actually never done a 3-card spread with this before. Actually, you know what? I think I did for my dog. Yeah, I did. Okay. But never for a universal reading. So this is going to be our first. Welcome along. Alright, here you go. I'm going to go ahead and put it down here. Our first card is 5 Crystal Spheres. I do believe that is like the 5 of Pentacles, which deals with kind of isolation and kind of going through all of the negative circumstances in your life and trying to pull out the positive, kind of like what I was just saying about the cards. In the present, we have the card that tells us what everything's about. I forgot to take that one out. Okay. Well, then, oh my gosh, we have another card that tells us what everything's about. Okay. The Queen of the Crystal Lasers. I do believe this is like the Queen of Swords. So in this present moment, it means that we have a very good viewpoint on the things that we need to either cut out of our life or pursue in our life. The Queen of Swords is very courageous and is ready to tackle anything. She's actually very generous as well, and is very loyal to those that are loyal to her. She's kind of one of those people that, if you treat her badly, she's going to cut you off. If you treat her, with respect, she's going to continue to gift you with wisdom and knowledge. And that's kind of how we are at this moment. We are the Queen of Swords, and we need to, as I'm seeing for this, really cut out the things in our lives that are being harmful to us. If you have a horrible job, or if you have somebody horrible in your life that continues to bring you down, don't be afraid to cut them out. By doing so, you'll be able to gather a whole bunch of, wisdom and knowledge about, how to pursue your future. Sometimes when you're so involved with negative circumstances that are going on in your life, which is, we can see by the Five of Crystal Spheres, which is the Five of Pentacles, by really understanding being the Queen of Swords and looking back and seeing, this is causing me pain, this is causing me harm, I need to cut this out of my life in order to pursue a brighter future. If your mentality is totally focused on these negative circumstances, you're never going to be able to pursue a brighter future, because you're always going to be kind of reminiscing and chasing after all of these ghosts in your past to try and heal them, And, make sure you, heal your past and stuff, but it's no shame to start moving forward, because sometimes you have to move forward in order to look backwards and see, the gifts of what was in your past. Okay, so for the future, I have pulled the Prince of Crystal Lasers, which I do believe the Prince is like the Knight. Let me go ahead and look in our book. I don't know if the Prince is like the Page or the Prince is like the Knight. Let's see. Oh yeah, the Prince is like the Knight. So, exactly. This is like the Knight of Swords, okay? So after you decide to cut all these things out of your life, you're going to be able to pursue the future with, utmost certainty that you have ridded yourself of all negative, qualities that you can. You've cut apart, or you've cut away everything that is causing you harm, and now the only thing that you're able to pursue is just happiness and, joyful, a joyful future. Let's go ahead and see what the book says. So first we're going to do the Five of Crystal Spheres. Go ahead and put you up like this. Here's the Five of Crystal Spheres. It's a pretty cool card. Kind of looks like volcanic eruption. I like that. It's got a lot of symbols on it, a lot of triangles signifying earth, wind, fire, water. And then it's also got a wheel down here, which I'm not exactly sure what it means, but let's go ahead and look at it and see. Five of Crystal Spheres. 160. Okay. Oh, keep going, keep going, keep going. Yay, 160. Come back here. Okay. So the Five of Crystal Spheres says, it's a symbol of excessive anxiety, tension coupled with long-term inaction. Represents the highest and most intense feminine energy of the earth, one weighted with easy restriction. This card exhibits the principal qualities of the unbalanced social structure and financial system, bringing stability in non-action. It represents a distress which is based upon harassment, provocation, annoyance, aggravation, or vexation. There is an unsteadiness in the material world, an unsteadiness without absolute or comprehensive disorder. The material aspects may shake and tremble but will not fall. The querent is advised to apply knowledge and reason to any work which is to be performed. So exactly, just as the Five of Pentacles, you want to seek out those things that are causing you grievances or being annoying, and really say, I don't need this in my life, this is like kind of a thorn in my side. Let me just take it out really quick. It's not serving me any purpose. Some thorns in your side, like a job that's like pressuring you to, become great in what you do. That's, when you necessarily want to keep that thorn in your side, because it's going to push you towards the future. But if it's just not leading you anywhere, cut it out. You don't need it. You don't need aggravation. Take the record off and put a new record on. The Queen of Lasers, let's go ahead and check out that. Let me look for the court cards here. Queen of Lasers on page 100. Okay, this one says, the Queen of Lasers exhibits the principal qualities of acute insight, understanding, and discernment, both perspective, inspection, and introspection, astute explanation and clarification, fervent uniqueness, promptness, and precision at register and expressing concept in views, certainty in action, and accommodation and scrupulousness in loyalty. She exhibits grace in gesture and actions, including beautiful and superior skilled actualization in the realm of performing via the dance, and in balancing all physical, mental, and spiritual actions. She possesses an exterior beauty and is enchanting, alluring, and outwardly engaging. She may sometimes exhibit deceit and unreliability due to her confidence and to do so unnoticed. The Fadden laser is indicative of the thread which holds everything together in one's life, also allowing for the cutting through of pre-planning tasks in order that one be prepared for action. It further brings the energy of attunement to that which can assist one in beginning and or continuing activities which are necessary along the path. The Queen of Lasers represents the necessity of forethought, pre-planning, sensibility, and caution and attentiveness during one's preparation for action. The querent is advised to accept assistance from those whom one may think to be incompatible or inappropriate. Intense love and affection can truly arise from the most unanticipated and unforeseen areas of one's life. In addition, the commencement of impulsive, willful adventures is only recommended if one is prepared to see the adventure as the right course, no matter the outcome. So go for what you dream, and expect help in unexpected places. That's what this is kind of telling you. Cut out all the negative. Have an insight of what is going to cause you harm in the future, and, cut it out and then try something new. Okay, the Prince, the Crystal Lasers, is the next card. It says, the Prince of Lasers exhibits the principal qualities of the purity of the intellect, the left brain functions, the ability to conceive ideas, and the manifestation of resourcefulness, expertise, and rationality. His thoughts and ideas, however, do not bring serviceable or functionable effort, for they are theoretical, idealistic, and without intent and purpose. He is, however, the element of action for the transmission of the life force necessary to continue the absolute independence he represents. The Prince of Lasers represents absolute independence from accepted ethics and beliefs, expertise in preserving while furthering any imaginative or invented idea or contention, and invulnerability to any grieving or repentance. The key laser indicates the available knowledge which can be applied to any situation. So use your previous knowledge to decide upon what you really want to embark upon. You might not have a certain goal that you want to reach. You might just want to try something new. You might want to try ballroom dancing, or you might want to try finding a different job somewhere else. It's not necessarily that you have a goal to reach. It's just you've decided that one thing is not working for you, so now it's time to try something new. The Prince of Crystal Lasers also illustrates the ability to exhibit nonchalance in reciting philosophical, biblical, psychological, metaphysical, etc. phrases both capably and skillfully in order to advocate any and all assertions or propositions, while retaining insensibility to the destiny of a contradictory reasoning which he promoted earlier. He is undefeatable because he feels that any opinion is as good as any other, and he is both ready and willing to prove the point in intellectual banter. So that goes along with our daily drawing as well. Our daily drawing was the Emperor, which basically reminded us that if we have a point that we want to prove, we shouldn't do so with a forceful manner and, kind of aggressive banter. It should be with intellectual banter. It should be with conversation, and incorporation of others' ideas rather than this is my point and it's right. Sometimes you have to open your mind to receive new information that actually might make your belief systems blossom and grow into something that you never thought possible. You might not have a goal, but by opening your mind and your heart to other people's ideas and opinions, and by sharing information and by sharing wisdom and by actually understanding that others have a different viewpoint than you, you're going to be able to use everyone's ideas to really blossom into the perfect creation that you wish to become. Let's see. In the interest of lively debate, he can change opinion in mid-sentence, enjoying always his metaphorical fence. So sometimes you can play the devil's advocate. You can basically talk about the other side of the argument or the idea. Maybe go out of your comfort zone and explore something that you don't necessarily believe in. You might find that it has some correlations to things that you do believe in, and it actually expands your knowledge tenfold. This card represents those evasive and non-committing intellectuals who can interact with each other with honesty only when the other exhibits creativity strengthened by a superior intellect. The types which are represented by this card includes those taken which is considered in vogue, and those who are disciples of drugs, alcohol, altruism, music, religion, etc. The type typically roams from one discipline or from one corruption to another, always effulgent in his or her advocation of the cause, but also always in actuality only the impulse of the moment. The querent is advised that deceit is possible, even if there is a great intellectual reputation behind the deceit. It should be noted that one may create an idea or a concept, but then allow it to die from non-action. This is the card of intellectual creation with non-action, the non-existence of movement which could bring the creative idea to manifestation. Well, in my perspective of what we have drawn today, you're going to have to cut out the negative in order to see the positive. Open up your mind to opposing viewpoints, not necessarily accepting them and, morphing your mentality to meet them, but possibly, conjoining them with your own ideas. And by this, you will be able to grow. Almost as if, for those that go to seminary school, in order to teach one religion, you have to learn all of the religions. That way, you're able to connect further and deeper with people, by knowing more of what they believe and by knowing more of how people see things, and by, kind of enhancing your knowledge of different situations, and by going out of your comfort zone, you're able to connect deeper with people. So make sure you take time this week to really just kind of be still and stay quiet and, kind of meander your way around the world, do different studies in places that you wouldn't typically do studies in. Pick up a book about sacred geometry or about, maybe a magician's handbook or something. You never know where it's going to take you. Pick up the Bible, pick up the Kabbalah, just kind of try to expand your knowledge this week. Don't try so hard to prove your point, even if you believe with your heart and soul that it's right. Try and accept others and try to listen more this week. This week, I believe, is all about listening and kind of playing your part as the listener, not so much as the speaker. Well, enjoy the rest of your week. Like I said, tomorrow is Tarot Tuesday, so for all those that would like a free tarot reading, I give the free first 3 people that contact me, or the first 3 that contact me, a free reading. So go ahead and do that on the forums. You can message me or email me at summerwashco95@gmail.com. Also, feel free to contact me if you have any questions about anything else. I already said in the previous blog post that I believe today, especially with it being the beginning of this week and with Mercury moving into Scorpio. Sorry, I'm not an astrologer. But with Mercury moving into Scorpio, with the Emperor being pulled as our card, wear ruby. Ruby helps to encourage you to season your words with grace and compassion and just a loving understanding. That way, even when you do speak, people don't see it as a criticism to their beliefs, and they see it as, I accept you for who you are. I accept you for what you believe. Now let me share my perspective on the subject. And not that I want to argue whatsoever about politics or about religion or about money. I'm not in it for the arguing. I just want to hear what you have to say about it, and I want to converse and exchange. Life's all about, you see that sticker that says coexist. Well, we all already coexist. We all live here. We all survive here. it's all about co-creating. So use each other, build with each other, learn from each other, and, collaborate with each other, make new art with each other, expand off of each other, grow this circle of held hands around the earth in order to achieve ultimate heaven on earth. Yeah, so anyway, I get going on little rabbit trails and then I don't know where to go. So we're continuing our study with the Tree of Life this week. Stay tuned. We're going to be learning about how each of the different Sephiroth correspond to the individual planets and what that means to us and how we can use the different cycles of the planets to really elaborate on what spots of our body and what parts of our soul need to be worked on. All right, it was wonderful conversing with you guys. Share lots of knowledge, spread lots of grace and love, and I will see you next week on the weekly tarot reading. And like I said, I'll contact you tomorrow or for the first lucky 3 that get to me. Bye!